Can't believe once again it's Merry Gibbsmas. Welcome to the last show of the year, everybody.
I would love to go to a Mary Gibbs's right now.
You're sick. You can't go to the Merry Gibbsmas.
I am still sick.
You've been sick since GNX came out.
Actually, yes, which is crazy. Kendrick, I don't know what it is. He just got me sick.
He released a new pandemic. It's like it's like Drake raised the bar to lawsuits. Kendrick, he's dropping biopathogens now.
All Purvis ever wanted was a black lung.
Yeah, literally. I guess so.
That was good. That was good. You got there, Jasper. You got there.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I did watch last week's episode to prepare a little bit. You guys had some good puns. It was a good pun. There was a couple of good puns. I was impressed. Jasper, I gotta say, I don't appreciate your puns enough. There was some you even said and they didn't even catch it. So I respect that.
It's what we do. We do.
Yeah.
I think you guys said the Funch disease or something. The Funch virus was going around.
Yeah. F virus, as we're calling it in the labs.
Trust me, you do not want this shit.
Yeah,
I'm back. I'm glad to be back.
Apparently the Umbrella Corporation is looking into it. I don't know.
Okay, Resident Evil.
All right, Purvis, you want to... Yeah. Well, you're still here, so sick or not, you have to run down the albums that are coming out this week.
No. I'll be glad to do so. It's a very light week. This is going to be the coziest of cast.
Yeah.
But starting us off for the albums, we do have SZA is finally here. She said she was going to do it this year, and she barely made it, but she's here.
It came in by the skin of her by her teeth.
Yeah. And boy, it came in like an alien, and she peed in the forest. But
yeah, she peed in the forest, and she was dressed like a bug.
Like you do.
And Ben Stiller kills himself.
Yeah, and then she got Ben Stiller to kill himself.
As it does. But yeah, Lana's here. / SOS Deluxe. I don't know.
Yeah, it is like hella confusing. I'm sure it's going to be like an album's worth of new songs.
It seems like it.
Yeah, but I've never seen a deluxe go by a different name.
I think that's a first for me too. I can't think of anything else.
I feel like it's going to be more like a double album.
Yeah.
Or it's like all the songs that are on SOS, it's all going to be reordered in a different way. That's why she went with a different name.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I've never enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
There's never been a time someone reordered an album and I was like...
Well, even including the new songs, because if it's like a double album and you do it
if it's just like a second album's worth of songs, that's different. Like,
and you just mixed up everything that was already in there to make it just kind of mesh.
I don't know. Usually those songs are just like sequenced so meticulously that it just never works. Like, I hated the Donda Deluxe that did that.
Facts.
Like, when the Donda Deluxe came out and did that, I thought it was like the worst thing. Like, the album had like one of the greatest openers of the decade, and then they made it the fifth song.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm just saying, there's that possibility because we don't know anything.
That's true. She hasn't shared too much, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how it's going to play into the concert. I've been thinking about the concert a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to play off each other, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. My significant other, Rachel, she sat on the couch yesterday for 3 hours smoking weed, playing games, and listening to SZA exclusively.
Wow. That's a good day.
Yeah. I was like, wow, usually I'm crying when this happens.
SZA is good for the soul.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Another thing that we have coming out, Bodie James is coming out with his 4th or 5th album.
Allergic to not dropping.
Bodie James is partnering with Who the Hell is Carlo, and they will be dropping Hidden in Plain Sight, and I'll be listening to it. So yeah. We also have G Herbo dropping The Best Rapper Alive, which is a lie. But, we'll promote Chicago stuff, I guess.
Yeah. The Best Rapper Alive. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that this is her week. Like,
yes, she'll be gathering everyone's attention, to be honest. Leading into the singles, speaking of Chicago, we might as well start off with Saba. Another single called "Relax" is coming out. I think he's released like 4 songs off of this No ID project coming
Yeah,
out next year.
I'm very excited for it. I've been kind of holding off, just kind of being like, "Ooh, this is like a pro," because I love No ID, and he's in other songs with Saba I've really liked, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll just dive into this whole thing."
Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited
That's
to see all
an
the.
early highlight,
Oh yeah,
an early. Not to spoil some of the conversation for later, but like easily one of the things I'm looking forward to the most in 2025.
we'll see what's gonna. January is normally pretty slow, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see how it goes. We also have Gunna coming out with "Goddamn" tonight, and I believe there's a music video tying with it. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
We have IDK coming out with "Flow," and then last but not least, we have Divide coming out with "Where'd It All Go Wrong," or "Where'd It Go Wrong," I should say. Just a little R&B to top off the year. But that's it. It's the end of the year.
This
Everyone's
is
kinda
like one of the
going
slowest times of years for releases. That's why we always make this episode like real short and real
Yep.
vibey,
The
because
last one.
like there's not much to talk about ever. You
No.
know, although I think for 2 out of the 3 years, I think SZA has dropped, so she's been holding that down for us. I appreciate it.
A little bread and butter from her.
Yeah.
Onto the
right.
actual news. Excuse me. Rolling Loud Miami happened, and it seemed to be a lot of fun. I've heard great.
Yeah,
reports
I haven't heard
go-
anything. Tell me what you've heard, because I haven't heard anything.
Yeah,
about
yeah. I mean, obviously the headliners are the biggest deal, but some cool reports of Travis Scott once again kind of sealing his best performance stuff. Came in a helicopter with Owen, what's his name? I forgot his last
Owen
name.
Wilson.
Yeah. Because
That's
apparently that's the
hilarious.
thing now.
That's hilarious.
Him and Ben Stiller are taking over with hip hop, I guess.
Wow.
Let them do it. Night
Yeah.
Museum
Wow.
4. It's
A few of the white people we do approve of.
yeah.
So yeah, Travis Scott did his thing. Yeet officially, he's big time. He made it. Him and Benny X just went crazy, which, you know what, I'm happy for. I'm
Yeah.
glad to say I got to see him when he was as small as an Aragon.
Yeah.
But
I
usual festival stuff.
I kind of rebuttal on that. Like, yeah, you can say Yeet made it, but it's a music festival, so it's
What you
like you're gonna get a big crowd no matter what. I feel,
I guess
especially
that's
if you're a headliner.
Yeah.
It's like you'll know if he made it if he sells out
his own
arenas. Yeah.
So like
If he
I
goes on
don't.
I'm
tour
not
and
saying
sells
arena.
out like the
Yeah.
United Center and stuff like that, that's when you'll know he made it.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
can see United Center.
I think that's like an upper tier. Like I do agree that it's like really hard to compare, because like
This is a next step in his career
for sure, yeah.
where you're gonna get him not playing smaller arenas, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you might not see him at, the Aragon Ballroom, just taking Chicago arenas for a reference, but yeah, you might not see him there anymore. You might now see him do like an all state or, try for that United Center.
Yeah.
Or he'll never be a, under third tier at a festival. He's going to be within one of those first 3 tiers.
Do you feel like he could sell out United Center right now?
I think it'd be hard, but I think he can.
Fair enough.
Until he does it, though,
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, I agree that this is like a level of making it, because it's like, when you're someone who can fill the Aragon Ballroom, there's still a chance that you can like fizzle out.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you get to this level, I do think headlining a festival like Rolling Loud is like a pretty big achievement. I wouldn't assume that means he should be doing such big shows, because like, it is just a different entire economy. People travel from all over the country to go to Rolling Loud. No one's
Exactly.
People are only going to come from the suburbs to see him play here in Chicago or like in New York or LA. Like people aren't going to go from all over. But no, like, because I don't know, having seen Playboi Carti live, I'm I haven't seen much of the Yeet performance, but I'm pretty sure that I think Yeet is who I would rather have
Agreed.
as a headliner in any show I would be at, I guess, which is the only thing I really give a shit about. Like, but yeah, like I would say, yeah, I don't know if Yeet's in a stadium tour level yet. I still think he, not niche, but like, is like a relatively, I'm going to use the word niche, but it's not the best word. But like, like
that's the only word that I can think of.
Yeah, he's like a relatively niche artist. Like he has like a very specific sound that I think, especially post 2024, isn't going to represent the majority of what hip hop sounds like.
Yeah, it's going to represent 2093.
I stepped right into that. I should have saw that coming. That was a bad pun, Jasper, but I deserved it. So I hope you know that. I don't want you to confuse that for.
It's also not inaccurate. I mean,
yeah, but like, I do think I'm a big fan of what Yeet has done this year. I even like went back and I re-listened to some of the songs off. Was it Afterlife? Was that the second album that came out this year?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I didn't love it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't love it, but I liked it because I feel like I really gave early Yeet stuff a chance, like way more than I think anyone on this podcast normally gives an artist they don't like a chance. Like,
wait, what?
Like I listened to literally dozens of songs, my dude, and I still think Afterlife is better. Like if that came out in January instead of 2093, I still would have been like, this is better than everything he's put out. It's just nowhere near as good as 2093.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, I've said it before.
But yeah, I do like Yeet as a rising force in that kind of part of the hip hop world, though. Right? Like I do think it is like kind of weird to take a festival and like directly compare it to like a touring musician. They feel like exceptions in a way. But yeah, I think he's highly successful.
Okay.
Who else were the headliners? It was Travis Scott one night, Yeet the other one. Who was the last one?
So the three actually, Friday wasn't Yeet, surprisingly. I thought it was. Yeet was the second to closing act. It was Future who came out in a fire suit.
Oh, like, what do you mean a fire suit? Like
he came out on fire. Like,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He only ever does too much or not enough at concerts.
There's no in between. You guys saw one option, and Rolling Loud saw the man on fire. And then Saturday closed with Travis on a helicopter, I guess.
That's sick.
And then Sunday closed with your favorite artist, Cardi, who
much prefer Yeet. Like I don't think I'm being controversial here. Like,
yeah, I agree. I'm fucking around. But yeah, that was pretty much all of Rolling Loud. Just slow highlighting stuff. I am excited to see what the next festival season brings us as the close of Dreamville and hopefully the introduction of a lot more interesting things.
I get a feeling J. Cole is going to be on the festival trail and announce something after summer.
Yeah, like I think Jeff is onto something with that one. Like I agree, and I think this would actually be.
It feels like a J. Cole move.
Yeah, it does. It feels like
he does.
Yeah, it feels like like the whole never letting one moment rest, like always doing the next thing. Yeah,
and
like, but I think
Dreamville Fest ending. I think he's gonna do the festival circuit and end his time doing festivals.
Yeah. Purvis.
Yes.
You weren't here last week to talk about the fact that the announcement that Dreamville Fest.
Oh yeah, the last one. The fifth and last one.
And you are, I think, our preeminent expert on it.
I am definitely probably the biggest Dreamville fan.
So why don't we skip up to because I think we wanted to talk about the Madison Square Garden show.
Yes.
Why don't we talk about the Madison Square Garden show and make sure you bring up your feelings about Dreamville Fest coming to an end, because I know you feel some type of way about this, and we're a podcast and we need content.
Well, you read my mind. I was going to flow into the Madison Square Garden part. It's the 5th and final one. Interesting enough, I'm taking a look now. It's coming out, or it is happening April 5th and 6th. Isaac and I have discussed going several years.
Yeah.
Now this is our last opportunity. We will see. Don't be too surprised if Isaac and I just kind of say like, screw it, and just go for it.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Tickets are going to be expensive and hard to get.
It's true. I've accepted that, but we've also been talking about going to Japan for like 3 years, and it hasn't happened. So we need to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm low-key, I'm planning on Flogna for next year.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Look, if it's this or Flogna, I'm down for either one. I'm excited because at the end of the Madison Square Garden performance, he was saying hopefully, he didn't confirm it, but he said hopefully I have new music to play for you guys.
That's a confirmation. He's just being coy.
Which, considering if this is happening in April, I could easily see him dropping February or March, which is close to it. He's normally dropping.
He'll drop after the Super Bowl. I think he's going to let Kendrick,
have his
moment, ride off, keep his moment, and then right after he'll drop his album.
It's also perfect timing for the Dreamville Fest, like doing it like a month before.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I think I definitely think that's going to be right around the time, February, March.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm here for it. If I go, bet. If I don't, I won't be too sad. Believe me, like I won't.
Do you have any concerns about Dreamville, the label?
No. I know there's a lot of discussion around.
Yeah, because like the Ari Lennox story was not fun.
Yeah, with her kind of taking a step back away from social media and everything else. With J. Cole also being rumored that the Fall Off will be his last album, and with this crazy rollout, I wouldn't be too surprised. I don't know. I don't think thinking about Dreamville as a collective and as like an actual like not record label. Jesus Christ, I'm blanking out on the word.
Like a label?
Yes. Is it a label?
I'm sorry. An imprint?
I can't think.
They are a record label. I don't know what you're trying to think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm still sick. Bear with me. But
I'm sure you got me all confused. Yeah, no, they're a label.
Thinking of them as a record label, I think Abraham manages that mostly, believe it or not. I understand J. Cole's like the face of it and the main person in it, but Abraham's mostly responsible for handling the business side. So I think they will be fine. I think they could find new signings, but I do think they need to do it as soon as possible. Kaz has not dropped an album and I don't know how long. Omen, I don't know if he's ever dropped an album. Ari Lennox is going through her own stuff. Jid was supposed to drop 3 albums this year and none of them came out. So whatever they're going to do, if they're signing new people or if they're doing what TDE did this year, they need to do it fast.
Yeah. I mean, they've had great years before.
They have.
Like recently, like 2022, I think was a great Dreamville year. We had
Revenge of
Ghetto Gods, Revenge of the Dreamers, the DJ Drama tape,
a lot of stuff.
Forever Story.
So yeah, I'm not too worried, but obviously they need to do it. Like
they need to do something. There needs to be motion.
Start doing it. So yeah, that's exciting. And to speak on, I guess, the Madison Square Garden, I think only Jeff and I watched it.
Probably.
Yeah, you reminded us like day of while the DJ was playing, and I was like, screw it, I got nothing else going on. So I bought the podcast. I'll be listening to it eventually. And the show was fun.
I've heard him describe the podcast more as an audiobook.
Yeah, so. I think that's fair. And Isaac had it a while ago. He's been listening week by week or whatever schedule it's been released on. The show was great, and it was simple.
He almost fell. He almost busted his shit.
Yeah, I heard it was fantastic.
He did almost fall. But yeah, it was just like last time that he played at the Madison Square Garden. He literally played it front to back. It was great.
Did he do other songs or just?
Yeah, he did a couple in the mixtapes.
Yes,
fun.
All the mixtapes that's been coming. Yeah,
out. That's actually exactly what I was hoping would happen because like he's been dropping the mixtapes.
Yeah.
I think he did Simba. He did Who Dat. He did Lights Please. He did Two-Face. He did Nobody's Perfect. He did a lot of older stuff. It was nice, and it was kind of mixed in. So I wish I was in New York. I would have went.
Yeah, and then the day of, he put 2014 tickets on sale for $1.
God, I love J. Cole.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all of it. Oh, and then Cudi. Jasper, would you like to cover Cudi, please?
The man is releasing a memoir.
How do we feel about this?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think a memoir is actually cool.
Anytime.
I'm gonna be on. Yeah, I'm gonna be on this. I think more rappers should write memoirs.
Yeah, it reminds me of like, I think in the early 2000s when like journalism finally started to catch up to hip hop in a way that it really hadn't in the 90s. Like you had people like Tupac and Biggie who had kind of that movement at that time, but when like Rolling Stone put out like a compendium of their greatest interviews of all time, and like the Eminem interview was in there from like 2002, it's like, that's cool. It's cool that this is being taken seriously in like a journalistic sense. So like seeing something like that where it's like print media surrounding a genre that has very almost a little too seamlessly made the jump to digital, it's kind of nice to see.
Yeah. Do you know more about this memoir? Is it a collection of interviews? Is it something he is writing bespoke? Like whenever I hear a memoir, I think it's someone sitting down to like write, their memoir. But I get that term can be used loosely.
So all we really know right now is that it's officially the life and times of Kid Cudi, basically. So yeah. I assume it's like he is putting together a collection of thoughts and experiences kind of spanning his career, and I'm sure he's working with like more professional writers to give that like a narrative flow. And he's not crafting this entire thing himself.
And I don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's necessary for this to be something worthwhile. I think this is something that like I am genuinely excited about, because like if it is just like a memoir of his life, it seems like Cudi has had like an interesting journey. Yes. And
so
this seems like the kind of thing.
I'm looking this up. So he said he wants this to inspire people. It's going through his life, the journey it's been through so far. It's bringing him much more peace and just going through the moments. There's going to be, I think, some interactions that he's had with other celebrities. He's going to include in there all the fun, the craziness, madness when he was going through rehab, the darkness in his life, all that. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, I would. If this is just Kid Cudi writing his story, and like, then I am 100% sold in. I think this is going to be sick. I just hope it's not some bullshit like limited drop kind of thing.
I doubt it.
I hope
it's Simon and Schuster.
Oh, if it's Simon and Schuster, it's going to be this is going to be a real.
Yeah, it's going to go over here somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a book. So I think this is cool.
Yeah, he finishes off saying, "My hope is that after you read after you read this, you'll have the confidence to bet on yourself and strive to live life as better human on the planet and spread love."
So it's memoir / self-help book.
Yeah, I hope it's not too self-helpy.
Yeah,
I think it's like more if you're like going through depression, or if you have darkness in your life, hearing what he's been through.
Yeah, and that's always been
that's what he's getting.
Yeah, that's always been his thing. I just hope he threads the needle in a book as good as he has with his music. You know what I mean? Because his music has been that, but it doesn't feel like I'm listening to like an inspirational speaker. I don't want him to go full inspirational speaker with the, you know what I mean? Like, like I don't want it to read like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like,
no, that makes sense.
I did not realize how many memoirs have been written on hip hop artists. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Gucci Mane had a great one.
He has a couple. Have you guys ever read a memoir on any of these artists?
I read the Gucci.
No.
I read a bit of the Gucci Mane one at work once. I just read like 4 chapters of it because someone left it. I don't read a lot of memoirs, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever. Well, I read A Promised Land, the Barockumentary, right?
Yeah.
But that's like that covers his like first term in office.
And like,
No.
and
you should
some
be a lot
before
more
that.
skeptical of anything put out by a politician more than someone like Kid Cudi, in my opinion.
Sure. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it was like recounting how he
Yeah.
got into politics and like all that stuff. It was much more so that than it was like.
Yeah, I read a memoir of Jackie Robinson. That was the
Oh,
most
that's
recent.
cool.
That was the most recent memoir I read.
It's one of Mac Miller. That actually seems interesting.
Yeah,
Rick Ross has a couple. Damn.
yeah,
There's a lot. I didn't realize there were so many memoirs written
yeah.
on hip hop artists.
Because like the thing is, like, there's a whole industry. Like, you know the plot of BoJack Horseman,
Mhm.
where like that girl, like Diane, is following BoJack around so she can write his memoir. Like, that's what a lot of these are. But like that doesn't make it bad. Like, that's just like that's why they're good to read.
All right, well, that's all. Well, do you want to bring up the clocks? He's also releasing shoes.
No, I'm not gonna. Let's not bring up the clogs. Let me have a good day.
That's all the news.
Yeah. All right.
Clog, kid, you know how much those clogs are going for? They're $110.
Yeah, that's
That's
standard
resale or
clog
retail?
standard clog pricing. Yeah,
Really? I didn't
for
realize
stuff
they were
like
that
that. Yeah,
expensive.
I mean, Yeezy slides were $100 at launch.
That is true.
Oh God, that's
Yeah,
so
I
gross.
guess.
Yeezy slides are so nice, though.
I
Wrong,
guess I don't
wrong side of the
consider Yeezy
revolution
slides
ass
like
purchase.
these stone feet.
They're just
Yeah,
so
I mean,
ugly.
the first person or the first artist to do that was Imran Potato. That brand, they did like it's like a skin colored foot clog, and so that's been like a thing since then.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
all that stuff should go to hell.
The mark of the beast.
Yeah, that's the market of it. If I see you wearing shoes look like feet, you're a demon to me. Like, I don't believe in God, but I do believe that makes you a demon.
What if
Like,
they're Vibrams? What if I need them for barefoot walking?
I don't care. Like,
Oh my god.
What if they're like the most comfortable shoe or clog ever? Like you're walking on cloud.
yeah, well, society has rules, Jeff, and one
It's
of
from,
the
it's from my scoliosis.
yeah, society has rules, and one of the rules
Society
is that
has
your shoes
rules.
can't look like feet. Like,
What if they're like the most comfortable
I don't
shoe to
care.
ever wear to a music festival? Like
You're
I
gonna
would-
lose one if it's a clog.
yeah, no, I'm not.
You are gonna lose.
Just
it's gonna
one.
end up being thrown up on stage.
I almost lost my foam runners, and those have like a back to them.
Oh
Yeah,
my
bro,
God.
you don't want to wear those to that shit.
Yeah, no, Hokas are the best shoes because they're the opposite of clogs. They have support. Like, oh my God. So,
Yes.
Purvis,
Yes.
you owe our audience something. You were incapacitated with the funch virus
The Funch virus.
during the review of what is almost certainly the biggest release of the year.
Yeah. So yeah, today I watched last week's episode to hear all your opinions. Very interesting conversation. I don't know where to really start, but I'll just shoot for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Tell us your general thoughts about GNX.
GNX. I was very conflicted, and I still kind of am. Obviously, it's a Kendrick release. It's going to be phenomenal. I debated if this is his best third release since it came out. Pretty much, I switch daily, if not hourly, if this is better than Damn or Not. I think I am finally settling in on liking Damn a little bit more. But that's just my personal opinion. I think obviously music's subjective. You like what
I
you
mean, I have Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn over this, and I love this album.
Yeah. I have Good Kid, Mad City, and To Pimp a Butterfly over this.
right. But in terms of this album, I was texting Brandon about this when it first came out. The worst part about Kendrick Lamar is the fact that like he just ruins the like joy of comparison.
Yeah.
Because you try to compare him to anyone else, and it just like
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
doesn't compare, and you compare him to himself, and it still sucks because like you're comparing an A to an A. But like this is definitely the weirdest album I would say that I've gotten out, or for me that I've listened to Kendrick, because I'm used to such a deep conceptual project that expands and needs like 10,000 listens to really get it. With this, is very in your face. I don't know if we would have gotten this album without the beef. Not saying that this album is just about the beef. I think it's much more. But I think we are benefiting from a very, I don't want to say angry, but a very passionate Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if we've seen this drive from him in a long time.
Yeah. To me, it definitely reads like he's striking while the iron is hot after the beef.
Yes, for
sure.
You know,
that I think I brought that up last week. And like, who knows how old some of these songs are? You know, God knows some of them could be left over from the Mr. Morale, and they just didn't fit in the, the narrative. But to me, the vibe very much is like, especially considering like who was producing all over this, like Jack Antonoff and Mustard are all over this, and they were, producers behind the beef, the beef tracks. So,
absolutely. I'm trying to think. I don't want to like rank it in terms of his projects, but it by itself, it's a nice listen. It's easy to get through. It's not too heavy. It's a very wide range of sounds, which is enjoyable. But I don't know, when Not Like Us came out, it was like a clear sign, like, okay, the beef's over. Like, just it's over, it's done, it is what it is. And I was like, okay, bet. And then the pop out event happened, and I'm like, this man is just running laps. He's doing a celebratory just like lap of just like, screw it, I'm the best. And then he dropped the album, and now I'm like, this is overkill. Like, let this man breathe. If I don't really want to go down on like a track list, to be honest, but I will talk about what I like the most. Luther is probably one of his best songs he ever made.
Yeah, agreed.
Damn, it's so good. Everyone is going to be singing at the stadium, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
Reincarnated blew my mind away, and it still does every time I listen to it. It is insane, the things that's going through this man's mind. And I think like some sleeper tracks that people don't really talk about. Dodger Blue, I feel like is growing on people finally.
I love Dodger Blue.
It's so good.
Dodger Blue is one of the best songs on the project.
It is so good. And,
so smooth.
Gloria is just like
so beautiful.
Such a true, humble like appreciation of like rap. Like it's a true love story to hip hop and to what it means to him. It's dope. It's beautiful. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah,
it really is beautiful. I think you mentioned last week that this is a brand, like a pen brand. I didn't know that.
It's a very expensive pen. Yes, yeah. Gloria is a very expensive pen, because that's what the song's about. It's about his pen. It's about his writing.
Oh, hey, I believe. I didn't even know it existed, but it makes sense. Obviously, Kendrick knows things that are beyond my capacity.
Yeah.
They start at $220 for a fountain pen.
That's something I can give my dad. That's not terrible, I guess.
For a pen, that is extremely terrible.
For my dad who loves pens, it's not terrible. But yes, for me, I would never buy a pen that much for myself. I don't know. It's a fun project. I was thinking when we finally got a fun project from Kendrick, it was not going to be like so aggressive. I would love like a nice Family Ties, but instead we got him crashing out.
Wait.
Where
do you not feel
like
making
sounds?
Family Ties is pretty aggressive. Smoking on your top five tonight, like.
Okay, but it's like a more uptone beat. It's fun. They're playing around. The music video that goes to it, it's literally them like screwing around and stuff. Like Peekaboo is like fun and lighthearted, and like there's jokes in it, but like he's literally crashing out in the middle of a verse. He's like. He's literally making sounds in the middle of a verse, and it's like, Kendrick, are you
boop
good?
bop
Like,
bam.
I hate that fucking song.
What were you doing in the studio? Who pissed you off?
Who allowed this?
I don't know. I think it's like very clearly like a
that's a reference to the meme.
Yeah,
I get it, and like
yeah,
trust me,
And
It's not
like
even just
Peekaboo is
that.
definitely like about artists who get away with not saying shit, right? Like the hook is literally like, what they talking about? They're talking
They're
about
talking about
nothing.
nothing.
Right? Yeah. So it's like it is like it does somewhat feel when people be like, "Oh, I don't feel like this is a super conceptual album," and I agree it isn't. But it's like,
There's a lot of meaning, yeah.
yeah,
A lot of-
well, there's a concept. Like a lot of the concepts are song concepts, and it's like
Mhm.
Peekaboo. Like the concept is right there. The concept is this is making fun of artists who get away with not saying a whole lot on the track. So it is like wild to me that people don't get that. Like,
No, it's true.
Because that's the music they like.
yeah, right. Like if you like Playboy Cardi, like,
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, he was crashing out, and not even just the memes. I think Fantano did like a bit on it. He was like, when it first came out, Fantano did a review and he put out a video. This is literally in the middle of a verse. He's like catching his breath almost,
Yeah.
like you can hear it in the mic. It's like, bro, like
second
relax.
verse of Hey Now, he comes back like he's like he just hit the Pendrick Lamar, and he's
This man is going through it.
Benjamin Lamar.
Yeah, this
Benjamin
man is
Lamar.
doing laps. He is doing laps
Pendrick Lamar.
around the
There we
rest
go.
of the industry. It is almost unfair. I will say I'm a little not concerned, but I don't know what to expect for the concert. I don't know how much of it because it's only 12 songs.
Yeah, it's a
only
short.
25
I mean,
minutes.
it's going to be like every other Kendrick concert that we've seen.
Yeah.
It's going to be like when we saw him at Lala. The only difference is instead of Mr. Morel, it's going to
Yeah.
be GNX.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be, I think, a pretty even distribution of songs with
Mhm.
just
Not
like
like us,
maybe
it's
a
gonna be his
little bit
closer.
more GNX than everything else.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
You'll get the
Also,
duets with him and SZA.
Which I'm
yeah,
excited
definitely.
about. The fact that we're gonna get a full Luther in person.
And, and sorry to cut you off, but we don't even know who the openers are for them. So if it's
Oh
just those
yeah.
two and they have like maybe one or two smaller names, then I think we're going to get a good portion of almost all of SZA and Kendrick's stuff.
I was actually going to bring that up because you guys spent a lot of time discussing that last week. I'm gonna be honest, and maybe not like it's a hot take, it's just a fucking concert. But a hot take, I don't think there's gonna be any like major people with them. Like I know Jasper, you brought up Tyler. Tyler's not gonna be there.
I know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
Jeff,
you think
brought
about
up
the
Schoolboy.
scheduling,
I don't
you
even
never know.
think Schoolboy's gonna be there. Like I honestly, I would be surprised if there's more than one opener. I would be surprised if there is an opener. You got to think about it.
no, there's
It
definitely
is
gonna be
SZA and
There's
Kendrick.
going to be an opener.
there's
Jesus Christ.
100% gonna be an opener.
It might just be a DJ. Like I can easily see it just being a
Eh,
DJ.
Just every artist brings at least especially at a place like Soldier Field, because they don't go on until like 9 at night because they want it to be a full concert.
Yeah, but Soldier Field has a curfew, and both of them are made. Both of them can sell out the.
you figure so.
I don't think it's gonna be multiple people, but I think it could be. Like my big thing is I think it could be Doechii. I think
That's what
like
Yeah.
I feel. It's probably going to be Doechii, if anything. But
Yeah.
I would be less surprised if it was just a DJ. Like
yeah, and
And
who,
then-
I don't know, 'cause-
and like if it's Mustard is their DJ, like
that's more than enough for me. Like
yeah, you
we're
know.
seeing something Kendrick. How much more can we ask for?
Mustard on the beat, ho.
Right. Another
Does
commentary.
does
Sorry, go ahead.
Soldier Field have a curfew?
Yeah.
11.
Crazy.
And it's like a strict curfew, and it's not a late curfew.
Jesus.
Like they need to
Like-
get out and start performing at 7 if it's gonna be both of them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But moving on. Another commentary that I was actually shocked that it took so long for you to bring up. This is not a mixtape.
Yeah, this is not a mixtape. That's my big thing.
Yeah, I never said it was a mixtape. I understood why some people made the claim, but yeah, it's not a mixtape. What was interesting last week that you guys talked about the structure of like mixtapes and the releasing of mixtapes nowadays is all confusing and diluted anyway because
Yeah.
this year we've had things that are literally called mixtapes be whole albums by Don't You. We've had albums like called albums that were released that are basically mixtapes, like Denzel Curry. Like it's just a word that people are throwing around now. I think the reasoning behind it being a mixtape was the actual issue, and I know it pissed you off a lot, Brandon.
Dude, I just didn't like I didn't like the idea that this was some lesser project meant to introduce
something else,
right? I think that really discounts like the work that's here, because like I get that like it's not like, once again, it's not my favorite Kendrick Lamar album. This is the best album that's come out this year, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I've listened to a lot of stuff across a lot of different genres this year, and I feel like this is just at the very least in the upper echelon of releases. So I feel like to just like dismiss it as a mixtape meant to promote a later release when that release was a conspiracy theory that so far has not panned out. Like,
it just doesn't make sense.
It comes off as extremely disrespectful to the creator and to other fans, I feel like.
I didn't know people did that with Damn. You mentioned people doing that.
Yeah, the whole thing with Damn and Nation. Everyone thought, because Damn came out on Good Friday.
Oh, yeah.
That on Easter Sunday there would be a second album called Nation. Right? And
I recall
like
that.
Once again, like I guess I just don't like Damn as much as people on this podcast, but like I like Damn a lot. I thought that was unfair to Damn.
Right.
Like,
I get that.
So back to the concert, looking at the Soldier Field show. Starts at 7:30. Doors open up at 6. So
they better start at 8. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if we get less than 3 hours combining SZA and Kendrick, I'm gonna be a little upset.
They'll probably bob and weave with each other too.
Yeah.
You know, for how much those fucking ticket costs.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I better get.
Show's not even sold out. There's a lot of tickets left.
Yeah,
didn't they add a second one?
No, not for Soldier.
No, it was for Toronto.
LA and Toronto.
There's your Kendrick remix. How much a ticket cost?
Jeez, yeah. A lot. $250.
It's ridiculous.
It's me. I'm the homeless man in that situation.
I mean, I guess I gotta give it a grade. It's an A. It's fine. Yeah. It's Kendrick. I don't want to be. I think Kendrick constantly suffers from the fact that he's Kendrick. So he is judged differently from the rest of the artists we listen to. So I think for a Kendrick album, it's an AA minus. For an album overall, it's an AA plus.
I think that's I think that's the fairest possible grade.
Yeah,
like, because there is the Kendrick curve, right? And like, just like there was the Kanye curve before it. Like,
oh, actually, that is something I wanted to bring up, and I heard a couple of people discuss this, and it wasn't brought up last week.
What?
People are saying that this is Kendrick's Jesus, and they're afraid that this will be a shift in his discography.
No, I don't think there's going to be a big shift in his discography. I don't even think there are that many songs that are. So I called "Man at the Garden" and "Hey Now" like T-Pab Yeezus a little bit last week, and I do think that those songs specifically maybe kind of harken in some sounds from there. But no, I don't see this as being like an equivalent to Yeezus.
Mm.
I also think like Yeezus has to be kind of like I think like the big thing with Yeezus, it was like a response to his last work with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And
he was just wanting to try something different.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like, this feels like Kendrick returning to his roots, not radically reinventing himself.
Not reinventing himself, but I love the idea that he, throughout Mr. Morale, basically resolved to like go to therapy and seek help, and came back a more hateful person, which is hilarious.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Sometimes that happens though. Sometimes you go to therapy and you learn you're not the problem.
Like, and to be fair though, also
like no, it's a real thing that happens. Like
GNX, nowhere on GNX does he say, "Fuck your Hampton house, I'll fuck your Hampton spouse." So I don't think it's quite to that level.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, like
it's like talking to someone who's MAGA. You're not the problem.
Yeah, like
You're not the problem.
I'm not the problem. Yeah.
Peekaboo.
Honestly, it's so funny because Isaac and I was talking about that. It's like, what did you learn this year? It's like Kendrick told me not to let anybody disrespect you.
Yeah.
It's like Kendrick taught me that you can go to therapy and come out more angry.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Like,
you gotta pop out and show fellas.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Therapy lets you know that you're not the problem.
But he basically just stole the crown of the genre from whoever wanted it, and just like we're living in his era now. Like there is
Slapped it
no.
on.
Now,
But this actually, I'll let you go before I go on.
okay, I was
Because
gonna
that mine's going to change topic almost.
Okay, I was gonna say, going off what Brandon said, now he's got to be consistent. I'm sorry, but he's got to be consistent.
Yeah, but like,
he's
has
yeah,
he not been?
He can't take 5 years.
I don't. No, I disagree. Like,
I don't know. If somebody wearing a crown, I don't need you gone for 5 years.
I think when you're working on projects as as soul wrenching as Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I'm shocked it only took 5 years.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, man.
you know, and like I think the average wait time between releases for him is like 2.5, 3 years now, because G and X was a real fast turnaround.
It's much faster. But again, that happened because of the beef. I'm serious. I'm still sitting on that. We would not have gotten this with the beef.
Oh, I
I
agree with
definitely
that.
agree.
I agree with that, but
credit to Drake, but I'm just saying.
I agree with that, but I think that's almost a compliment, because I don't think the beef looms large over this album. Right? Like, I think in 30 years, when this album is a thing that you could take out and show to like your son or daughter or niece or nephew who have it, right? They don't have to know what was going on in 2024 to enjoy the album.
I don't know, dude. I think they're going to be
I feel like
tapestries
you
of
need
this
to talk about
beef
the beef.
in
You
like
need
a
to
history
talk about
museum
beef
somewhere.
and talk about this, yeah.
Huh? But like,
Sorry.
no, I just disagree. I just don't see like what on like, besides for a single bar on Hey Now, I don't see how this super connects to the beef, besides for just like the inside baseball knowledge that like he was just clearly in a creative zone, having just clearly won the most public facing rap beef since the 90s.
Reincarnated.
What?
I feel like this album wouldn't hit as hard if it wasn't for the beef. Like, I feel like the beef.
He was just motivated.
much
He
story.
made those diss tracks, and he was just so motivated to make something.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
just how it strikes to me. Like, it's just like he had a thing.
Because you can tell, like,
Yeah,
you know, some of these songs, you don't know how old they've been, but then you hear those songs, and you can tell those songs were made right after, you know,
yeah,
he made one of
That's
those
my
diss
point.
tracks.
yeah.
That's
So,
really my point.
yeah. So we're agreeing.
Yeah, but
Oh.
like I think there's a difference between like how the album was made and like what the album represents. Right? Like I don't think that there's a whole lot of like narrative around the beef. I don't think, besides for TV Off, I don't think it shares a whole lot of like sonic
Yeah,
like
oh, no, I
elements with
definitely
the
agree with
beef.
that.
I do not think you need to know anything about what happened in between Kendrick and Drake this year to enjoy this
enjoy it.
album, right?
I get
Yes.
that, bro.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
all I'm saying, right? I think like
Oh, yeah.
because I think work, like creative work, always out survives like the narratives around it. So I think eventually this will have to stand on its own without that context. And I think it totally does.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
don't
no.
think it's like just him talking about the beef either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
what I
guess-
was going to say,
Go ahead.
kind of just to change things up, but with how dominant the West Coast was this year, where else is going to come in 25? Like, is Atlanta going to jump on the market? Is Dreamville, Carolina going to jump on the market? What's New York going to do? They haven't done shit in years.
Yeah.
Florida.
New York.
Florida.
Florida.
Texas had a big 2024 also.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, they did.
Texas has a
Chicago,
lot
are they gonna
of
be out there next year.
yeah.
No,
Chicago
like,
is
no.
not doing great.
Chicago's not going to be.
I think if
'cause this
anyone
younger
is gonna-
generation is either dead or in jail,
Or
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper.
Or Chance the Rapper.
or Chance, yeah.
Dude, officially divorced. It's coming. Like
We're close.
Yeah.
We are getting close.
Acid rap 2, ketamine rap is.
It's ketamine rap. Jesus.
Chance the Rapper, but he just drinks lean and hangs out with Yerba too much.
God.
No, I don't want that either.
I know, nobody does.
I do.
I don't
I
want
do.
that either.
Yeah,
We don't have a
that
leader.
just-
New York doesn't have a leader. Atlanta just got Young Thug back, so maybe Atlanta.
because that just gets me to go like, are we gonna see a dominant West Coast for these next couple years? Because
Probably.
you look at the other markets, they don't have a big name.
It's not
Wait a
lot.
minute.
Yeah, New
Hold
York.
on.
New York has Griselda,
Yeah, I
which
was
is
just gonna say.
yeah. New York has
Oh, yeah.
Griselda, and 2022 was the year of Griselda for sure. But you're right, because it's almost like it's inherently cyclical, because you can't have a year like TDE did this year every year. You just can't. You can't
No.
put all your resources into it every year.
You know what we sound like?
Who?
We sound like sports commentators being like, yeah, well, that's why, you can only win one World Series.
That's
every
literally how
7
I've
years.
pitched this.
Yeah.
That's literally how I've
As
pitched
we
this
should.
show.
Yeah, it's
This
true.
show is
100%.
Sports Center for hip hop nerds. Like,
Yes.
That's actually how he pitched it to me. It's the only reason I accepted
like,
Yes,
like
but yeah,
no,
I mean, yeah, you
I
got
think you're right.
Griselda,
I think
but-
you're right that it's a big thing. But the thing is that, like, was Griselda going to have a year like next year? Like, I think that's a label and a movement that has the inertia and like the momentum to like do it. But I don't think they necessarily.
Maybe it's just because
will.
I'm still newer to Griselda that I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
But
2022 was a year you had to be there for. And the other thing is that we're talking about different things. We're talking about radio charts versus the underground, and like, when you have like Griselda releasing like 6 or 7 albums that pierce from the underground into the mainstream all in one year. Like, yeah, I don't think any of them were as big as Kendrick this year, or maybe even Doechii. But like the collective kind of, surfacing of it all was wild.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
I think
that's one thing I've been thinking about all day today. It's
yeah,
like,
no, that's a great point to put it. I think
Like-
Atlanta has taken its lumps the last couple years, but
yeah,
they just
maybe
got their number one player on
Dreamville,
their number one players on the
with
penalty
Dreamville-
box. So
yeah, maybe with Dreamville, announcing last Dreamville Fest, maybe they try
hope-
and do it.
I hope that there's a great dream.
they got the names.
They also
got the
had a
names
great
that can do it.
2022. They also had a great 2022.
They did.
Figured, 3 years in between projects.
God, it's got to be, man. And I think another thing, because I haven't heard it yet, but I've heard that the Snoop Dogg Dre album is actually good.
It is.
Yeah, I've heard it's like
I
actually
haven't
legit.
listened to it yet.
And is that Purvis? You would know. Is that one of Snoop's Death Row releases?
I believe so. Let me double check.
I think Snoop's presence at Death Row is going to be big. That's something me and Purvis have been talking about. So yeah, I do think the West Coast is set up for like long-term success right now.
It is Death Row.
This is the
Yeah.
perfect opportunity now, given that we're talking about a larger kind of concept, to move into our plans for Golden Nugget.
Yes.
Absolutely.
yes.
So I think who wants to run through the changes for Golden Nugget? Purvis, you really dug deep while you were.
Yeah.
Let's
Fighting.
keep it brief.
I
We
was
don't want to give
sleeping
too
when
much
all
away.
those
No.
texts. I was sleeping when all those texts came through, so I did not read one damn text.
It's so epic. We'll just go over the categories.
Yeah, we're
woke
just gonna
up
go
and
over
I
the
saw-
categories. I think the main
I
thing
saw 40 missed texts, and I'm like, nope, not happening.
you're like, I'm not
All right.
reading that shit.
That's exactly what I said.
You work a late shift, so that's on us.
Uh,
Yeah. Should I go through the categories then?
well, I think we should probably
just do
just
it.
set it up with like the biggest change, which I think the biggest change is this year we're
Okay.
splitting focus between albums and live shows. I feel like did we or did we just do a couple categories of live shows? Because I didn't think we cut it in half.
last year we did cut in half, and it's only because last year we went to a
We saw a
ridiculous
lot more
amount of
last year.
concerts.
Yeah,
An absurd amount of concerts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
And we're
But
gonna
yeah,
be
I
back
did
up
wanna-
this year.
Yes, we're gonna be back up. I want to go through them to make sure we're all aligned because we've been making a lot of changes. Starting off, sleeper pick / unexpected performance. That's just who we saw live. I feel like we all went to really low key shows at some point or another, so I feel like that's easy. Then we're gonna do top rising / most improved. Now, my thought process was that you can pick one because they're not the same thing. Do we want to do both?
No, we should do both because I feel like those are different things. I feel like Rising Star is one thing. I feel like Most Improved is a different thing.
I've already got one for each.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Most Improved is something I've been wanting to do all year. Spoilers, but it's sorry. And I feel like if I was doing that versus Rising Star, I would just have very different answers.
But
yeah.
So I will make both of those be a category. After that, we have best music video. Now I will say, originally, I did not think I could find music videos this year because I didn't really pay attention. But Jasper, you kind of sold me on it. I found like 10 music videos.
Yeah, dude, I have a top 5 already.
I say we all take 5 minutes each, and we can do what we want to do with the 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair. You can whip through.
I feel like 5 minutes is a lot because I watch a lot of music videos. Yeah, I feel like 5. Yeah, okay. I don't mind that because I watch enough music videos too.
5 minutes. Let's go with a max of 5 minutes.
Yeah, max of 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I watch enough music videos to do 3 minutes. That's fine.
Yes. So yeah, split it however you want to. You can talk about 2. You can talk about 10. Just fit it in 5 minutes. After that, best 5 overall songs. I can do that, but I realize how difficult it was.
It's going to be hard. It's very difficult.
Do we want to keep it difficult? I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with keeping it at 5. The only thing is that the what makes it easier is making it longer. We pay for it with time. Yeah.
Okay.
I say 5, dude.
I say let's do 5. Bro, because that's the one I tally up like all year because it's so intense.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I was going to have the hottest number 10. We were going to start off.
Oh, jeez.
Because I was about to be like 10. Family Matters. Like,
I mean, look, Family Matters is a good song.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
And then we're going to move on to best 3 song performances. So that's back to the live performances.
Cool. I like that.
Saw live. Then we're going to do best 3 artists overall. I think this gives us an opportunity to talk about an artist as like their whole year and not just an album.
Is this not the Golden Nugget?
That's what I was going to say. Historically, we just have the Golden Nugget. And in the past, we had top 10 albums, and then number 1 was the Golden Nugget, which I feel like we can easily separate the two. We can actually talk about best 3 artists, and then the Golden Nugget can just be separate. That could be your number.
Well, then what does the Nugget represent then?
Well,
because to me, Nugget was the artist award.
Well, maybe I should say for the best 3 artists overall, 2, 3, 4. And then number 1 would be Golden Nugget.
Yeah, I guess like that's what I'm saying is that like this just sounds like we're doing a Golden Nugget with honorable mentions now, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, that's essentially.
I think that's what we should do. We should just do the Golden Nugget with honorable mentions.
Yes. So thank you for helping me clarify.
Yeah.
After that, we have best 5 overall performances. So this is meant to be the highlight of the live performances, the best 5 you've seen. I feel like we've all been to actually plenty of shows. It wasn't as much as last year, but enough to fill up 5. Also, side note, please help fill that in. After August, I stopped paying attention to what other shows were.
Yeah, no, it got really bad after Lollapalooza.
Yeah, it pretty much just disappeared.
Well, we didn't do much after Lollapalooza, I feel.
It did slow down.
It slowed down. It's just life got hectic, and we stopped recording what we did see.
I was gonna say I didn't go to any shows with any of you after Lala.
That's what I was saying. You saw Eminem.
Since Summer Smash.
Yeah, well, you saw Eminem.
Yeah,
but I said with you all. So even if I posted mine, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, because I went mostly to like rock and other like pop shows. Because we went to Weezer, we went to Green Day because we went to Green Day after Lala.
True.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. We did Green Day, Weezer.
Yeah, that was all that.
Jesus. We saw West Side.
Yeah, we saw West Side. I saw
And
Remy
Antonio.
Wolf too.
I saw Lupe.
I saw
and
Rise
Rocky.
Against.
I saw Sting.
You saw Sting.
I
Wow.
did.
No,
I saw the Lucid Dream sample live. That was pretty cool.
that's
That
fun.
actually is kind of cool. I respect that.
I saw Billy Woods.
I
Yeah.
saw Tommy Lefroy.
Oh yeah, you did. Anyway,
Like, you know who that is? What?
it's because you brought him up before. You told
Tommy
me.
Lefroy?
I think you told me to listen to him.
Tommy Lefroy is.
Or it
is
might
a,
be someone else.
Tommy Lefroy is a band who are two women.
Okay, no, then I'm
Yeah.
probably thinking of somebody else. You told me. to
Elliot
listen
Moss, probably.
to. Okay,
I saw
that's
him in
probably
March.
more accurate.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's supposed to be the highlight of the live performances. After that, we'll move on to what I'm calling rapid fire. I feel like there are just so many goddamn albums this year. It would be unfair to do 1 through 5. So 6 through 10, we will go. Just take turns. I do 6 through 10. Jasper do 6 through 10, and so forth. We don't have to dive deep into it. Just albums that you really enjoyed that you think are really good that are not in the top 5. After
Yeah.
that, then we
Yeah.
go round robin. We all do 5. We all do 4, and so forth. And then obviously we end it with the Golden Nugget.
I don't
Perfect.
think I'm gonna rank my 6 through 10 in any particular
not
order.
either.
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
gonna
it.
rank my top 5.
Is that
I'm gonna rank my
albums?
top 5. Yeah, for albums.
Yeah, that sounds
That
perfect.
is
Yeah,
exactly what
an
I'm doing.
unranked back 5, round robin top 5. I think that's perfect.
And
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good way to finish off the year. End it with the Golden Nugget. I think we all know who that will be.
Yeah, the Golden Nugget's gonna be boring. I feel like this year, like we should even do 3 honorable mentions because like
That's what
I
I'm doing
think
the
it should
honorable mentions,
normally
yeah.
be 2, but this year let's do 3 because it is so goddamn boring.
It will-
Like, because I know at least 3 of us are gonna have the same answer.
I will have a hot take
Yeah.
that will piss everybody off, but it's not going to change my overall answer.
This
But
pro Drake propaganda can't stand.
it will
Purvis.
not be a pro Drake propaganda. GNX isn't my album of the year, but we'll get into that later.
Okay, that's fine. We got a couple weeks coming.
We do have some time to prepare. I'm not gonna lie, I already built out my answers.
Yeah.
Another
I'm
thing.
definitely gonna start.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
start now.
it's been fun.
I'll
Mine are
start.
done.
Yeah, I'll start tomorrow after I get done with work. After I finish work for the holidays.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
One more thing I want to cover since we are all here, and this is the new part of the Golden Nugget. Do you guys understand the bingo card?
oh no, go over it. I assume it's just like a bingo card of like commonly like, oh, Brandon said revolution now.
That's
Purvis
literally
said
what it is.
Purvis is rendered incapacitated due to laughter. Like
Yeah. That is literally what it is.
Jasper said a pun. Jeff wore a
trust me.
hat. I don't know. Like,
Like, nah, man,
Got him.
like, it's a bunch of stuff. It's meant to be a lot of fun. It's meant to be easy. Just a 4x4 board. Like, I'm expecting somebody to put like.
can we have
meat
Isaac
and
there
chicken
to do
on-
this? Like, can he be?
Wait, it's got to be a 5x5, so you have a free space in the middle, no?
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna be hard coming up with 25 things. So
I can
mean,
do it.
we could do 25.
I'll do it. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll do a 5x5.
Yeah,
bingo
come
card.
up with all the
Everyone-
things, Jasper, and
is meant to be
randomize it
different.
and make 4.
That's why I do those lore posts.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in the
Okay,
group
yeah.
chat.
Yeah. By the way, stop calling me out so accurately.
God, is
Jesus
that-
Christ. Like,
Perceived.
that was uncomfortable. I showed it to Rachel. She's like, "Is
You
this
just
about
go,
me?"
"Wow, okay."
Like,
Did you say that was uncomfortable?
yeah, it was like uncomfortable how visible I was. Like,
Laid bare. Oh, that's fucking funny.
I don't think I've ever seen you respond so quickly. You just go, "Wow, okay."
I was just
Couldn't
like,
even argue.
yeah, like I can't argue. Like I can't.
My 2 favorite things now are being able to search, like in that group chat, or being able to search it by the words lore and ayo and just find like hilarious
all the
stupid
stuff.
shit from
Yeah.
both of us.
Man, that accidental action Bronson is taking.
That's the
over.
Golden Nugget this
Like,
year.
that is taking over.
Hey yo!
Like actually, But yeah, if we want to do it that way, that works. I was going to say everybody built their own card, so it's different. But I guess that's actually not how bingo cards work. Now I think about it. Jasper, would you come up with 25 things?
Sure.
Or 24 things? Yeah. All right, this should be fun. But yeah, I guess whoever's watching this, the point of the bingo card, we take a shot every time we get a spot. And
we're gonna die, dude.
And hopefully somebody hits bingo soon. And once we hit bingo, that person actually gets free Golden Nugget from the rest of us. So that's still a fun game. Or instead of shots, we could do little pools. Like we can all have a mixed drink and just do a pool.
Or just there's like a sip, like a beer.
A little sip. A little something.
All right. And that'll be coming when the Golden Nugget always comes.
Yes.
Immediately after the New Year when we do it.
January 2nd.
January 2nd will be live, probably. Who knows? It'll be recorded January 1st because it's when we all have off.
Yes.
I do not.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that actually. Like, depending on timing. Because if we
I
can do the
work,
Thursday, either way.
I work the morning of New Year's Eve and I work the night of New Year's Day.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
We'll figure something else out.
We'll figure out the time.
Midnight and 5 to noon.
We'll figure out something. I'm sure. Yeah.
We'll figure out something.
Even if I have to record from the studio, I can multitask.
We're not going to make you record from the studio.
Do you get a soundboard in the studio with silly effects? Because that would,
I mean, if you
maybe
want
be
to,
worth
I
it.
guess.
Production value.
No, I do, but it'd be. Yeah, no.
All right.
Okay, fair.
They're all conservative radio effects. It's all like
conservative radio. There's
it's all like deregulate the market. Like,
oh boy,
it's all making fun of.
It's like all lives matter. Like
there are chemicals in the water.
Put down the bingo board.
Frogs gay. Frogs gay.
Laugh.
Make it stop. Make it stop.
Make it stop needs to go on the bingo board like 5 times.
Now, question: how many people have Carnival in their top 3 songs of the year?
I don't.
Because I know when I want to listen to some real God-fearing music.
Jesus, Lord, have mercy.
My number one.
That's my favorite. All right. Before we get out of here, do we want to just nerd out for a second and talk about next year?
I noticed I did write that down, but our first episode of every year is normally the whole episode is our expectation.
Oh, is that? Okay, yeah, we can.
I put that in on accident.
Okay, do we want to save that?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that the first episode of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, recommendations, I guess.
Oh, shit, I haven't even thought about my recommendations.
Also, Jasper, do not call me out so blatantly with the Jesus Christ to cut off the random off-topic.
Proceed. What can I say?
No,
you're like, in the absence of purpose, Jesus Christ. And I was just like, yeah, that's me.
Listen, it is. We all have our things we're known for. I'm happy with what I'm known for.
Bring everybody back.
I can go first for
go first with recommendations.
Yes.
So I am staying in the holiday spirit since we are 4 days, 5 days, 6 days before Christmas. My first recommendation is Chance the Rapper and Jeremiah, Chi-Town Christmas.
I've listened to that album like 70 times.
Great album. It just blows my mind that they have a juke track about fucking on a Christmas album.
And it slaps.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Let's listen to a Christmas album.
It's a good pick. Good pick. Great pick, even. All right. No one's saying anything, so I'll just go.
Yeah, please do.
As you all know, Griselda has just taken over my life.
Yeah, we all know. It's concerning. We have
it's abusive.
Yeah, we're working on the intervention. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. I will not be mentioning, spoiler alert, I will not be mentioning any Bodie James in my year review stuff. So I'm going to actually do a review or a recommendation now. Amongst his 6 albums that he dropped this year, I will be recommending Off-White Lumberjack, which is a crazy, ridiculous name, off of Across the Tracks. It is so good, produced by Conductor Williams. I don't need to say anything else.
I almost went with the song off his and Alchemist's album.
Yep. So good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Great.
God, I do love Boldy James and the Alchemist.
I almost want something off that album.
Yeah.
Next week. Brandon, Jasper.
Give me a second. Okay. I'm gonna bring up a song from an album that I kind of wanted to talk about, but I do not have enough thoughts on it because I've only listened to it like twice, and really like it was more like how big this artist has gotten, ironically, off this album. How big this artist has blown up this year, even though he's not gonna have a presence in my Golden Nugget in any capacity. I'm recommending the song "Take Care" by Big X the Plug.
Ooh.
The title track off his album "Take Care" that came out in November. I think he has like a very specific style that's like very unique, very flow and bars based. But and I really, really like him a lot. Like he was all over my top 100 songs of the year, but not, And yeah, no, it was just an album I liked a lot, but not enough to dedicate a whole episode for. So I just kind of wanted to shout it out. And I was just trying to remember like my favorite track off of it. So I'm just going to do the title track. Because truthfully, I have not just been listening to a lot of music because I've been listening to a book recently. So, But yeah, no, this is going to be "Take Care" off Big X the Plug's album, an album I really liked and wanted to talk about.
Approve.
Are you gonna go with "Take Care" from Drake next?
No, but that would be funny. Well, now I am. Thank you. Like,
you set yourself up. All right, Jasper.
I am going to go with a song off an album we reviewed this year. I'm going to go with Nissan Altima.
That song goes so hard.
It goes so incredibly hard.
It's. Did anyone here watch Dochi's Tiny Desk?
I did.
I haven't yet. I need to.
Oh my god, she's so fucking good. She has immediately landed herself in the silver medal of Tiny Desks for me.
Behind who?
Mac Miller.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, the Mac Miller Tiny Desk is unnaturally good.
It's ridiculous.
It's a goat tier.
Unfair.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Alrighty. So my next one is gonna stay in the holiday spirit. I'm going with Tyler the Creator. I Am the Grinch.
Another good pick. Oh yeah.
I think you don't hear enough hip hop artists doing Christmas albums.
Yeah.
We need to bring that back.
Yeah, we do.
Where are you at?
Yeah.
Like think of a TDE Kendrick Christmas album.
They can't.
I don't know. Right now, Kendrick
A black, or if he wasn't all pissed off at Drake,
I was gonna say
a black hippie,
Yeah,
Christmas album.
I feel like a Kendrick Christmas album would get real anti-Drake real fast.
To be honest, I don't know if I need an LA Christmas. They don't even have snow. Like,
yeah, that's right. That's a great point.
Ugly Christmas sweaters. I froze and my phone rang. Kendrick, where are you at? Where's my goddamn tree?
I'm upset.
That was really good. That wasn't a pun. That was an actual joke, and it was a very high quality one.
Dude, all of this accidental Bronson stuff is paying off.
Yeah.
We're going to make an album very soon.
Are we though?
Oh my god.
Oh, I love it. Okay, well, I need to get in the Christmas spirit, clearly.
Yeah.
I'll do my second one. Another artist that unfortunately will not be making any of my Golden Nugget stuff, but I think is important to pay attention to. Ka, or I don't know how to say it. I don't know if it's Ka or K, but KA has been around for a very long time, but he has been a pretty dominant person in the underground, and all of his albums are extremely conceptual. This year, it's supposed to be his last album, unfortunately. It is his ninth album. He released A Thief Next to Jesus, and it is literally an album made for me. It's talking about
it sounds like it. I'm sorry.
It's literally talking about how religion has kind of controlled the Black community in like ways that you can't even really put into words. It's you can only put it into an album.
No, you guys send this to me.
It's phenomenal.
It sounds right up my alley.
It is ridiculously good. But the song I'm going to recommend is beautiful. I put it on my story not too long ago. It's the second song on the album. And when I say underground, I mean super underground. And just to go off some of the time, another album is called Honor Killed the Samurai. Like, this man is beyond conceptual. So highly, highly recommend listening to this if you have not. Matter of fact, this might go on my Golden Nugget. It might actually come up now.
Jesus.
But anyway, that's fine.
All right, my next one is somewhat silly. To get into the holiday spirit a little bit, I'm not picking a Christmas song. I'm picking a song that samples a Christmas song. I'm picking Fourth Dimension off Kids See Ghosts.
Down the chimney, he will come with a great big smile. So good.
What a
I almost
pool.
went with this last week.
Yeah.
Louis Prima.
No.
Yeah.
What a pool.
What a pull. Man, I panicked.
Hey, no, that was good. That was good. All right, well,
Jasper, finish us off,
I was
please.
gonna say, isn't there like one more?
Oh yeah, it's me again. What should I do? I don't know. I have not planned. I don't know. I'm gonna pick one. At random. We're gonna go because all this is stuff I've been listening to. I'm just going through my recent. I'm gonna go with. Stop it, you. I'm actually gonna go with Blood.
Bye.
Kendrick off of Down.
Oh, okay. Like the intro track?
Yeah.
Like the one that's like 15 seconds long?
So I was taking a walk. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that one. I'm gonna do.
So I was taking a walk the other day, but I was waiting to see if you were serious.
When you brought up Damn, the urge to say that line was so strong, and I didn't do it. I'm gonna do Fear.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Top 3 Kendrick track. Argue with your mother.
7 minutes of just Sonic.
Just
so
Fear at 7 years old, 17 years old, and 27 years old. I lived through all that. That's real.
I do not agree with his cousin, but other than that, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
As a Jewish man, I don't agree with his cousin. But like other than that,
I wonder why.
I have some problems with some of the messaging on that album.
Yeah.
Period.
Me too.
And like, if you want to hear it, you can Google that album and then Black Writer, and you can find, people who share your experience who think it may be a bit reductive and backwards. But like,
yeah.
But it's a great song. It's Kendrick. Like,
yeah, it's not gonna not be good.
Yeah, it's Kendrick. Like,
you just hold him to a different standard.
It's a different standard, right? Like, it's you're immediately arguing about everything that's an A. Well, anyway, that's it for us this year. You'll see us in 2025, suckers. Like, subscribe, tell us we suck, tell us a Merry Christmas, tell us Happy Honda Days.
Wow.
I'll be coming into my Pippin era.
Yeah.
3-3.
Yeah. Jeff's birthday is gonna be between now and the next.
I'll be no tipping Pippin.
Oh, it was so close.
Like and subscribe. I'm done. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Oh, bye.